Now, alhamdulillah. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Can I not
madam.
confirm?
Yes, I
Thank
can
you
hear
so
you.
much. I'm sorry I couldn't use my mic earlier. Thank you so much. Thanks so much you all for joining us this evening. The session starts in a few minutes. Breathe, can you please confirm that you can hear me? Can you please confirm if you're on the call with us, Father? Hello?
You will soon be with us now. We'll join you.
Oh, all right. Once it joins, we start the session. Thank you. So once again, you all are welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. Bye. I look forward to having a great time with everyone this evening. Thank you so much once again. Listen, while we wait, can you please help me and man the lobby? I need to be away for just a minute.
All right, my boss.
All right. Can you confirm if you can see my screen, please?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you so much.
Should I stop this recording and start all over again, or should I just leave it?
Just hold on. Just hold on. Oh,
Mm.
I'll do that process. All right. Good evening, everyone. And once again, you all are welcome to the Aspire 2025 Health Tech Expert Insight Session 1.0. So we'll be starting with the opening citation. Lebridge, are you on the call? If you are on the call, can you please signify?
No, I'm sorry, come to the record.
All right, thank you so much. Can you give us the opening prayer in 3 minutes? Thank you.
No, alhamdulillah. We give thanks so much to Allah who is infinite justice and has counted us among the privileged ones. We are allowed to this moment. We ask Allah to continue to be with us with our Rasulullah. So we'll be moving on with the Askar. So Fatiha 1, Salat al-Fatih 11. Ya Alim 11. Ya Alim 11. سنقرئك فلا تنسى 11. Fatiha 1, Salat al-Fatih 11. آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق نصر الأكل بالأكل وعاجل الصراط المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدر في دار العظيم. باسمك يا علم حلم لنا علما. اسمك يا حلم يسر لنا فهما. حمدت إلى العرش عفيظ عرش وكشف كرب الحلم بياليا. وصلى عليك الله طه المفضل قال وحسب جميعا أموميا. اسمك يا علم حلم لنا علما جاء رسول الله طه حبيبيا. اسمك يا علم لنا علما. باسمك يا علم يسر لنا فما وتشرع لنا صدرا حكم إماميا. باسمك يا علم حل الحقودة لكي يشكو قول دواما إلهيا. باسمك يا علم حلم لنا علما بفهم كثير دائما بفهوميا. باسمك يا علم زده لعبودك علوما كثيرا مبركا برضائيا. باسمك يا علم جده لعبودك كتابك هذا كله ببيانيا. بتقوى وزود دائما متخاشيا بجاه رسول الله حق المرادية. تجيب دعاء الحمد عبدك قد دعا دعاء ضعيف دائما متراجيا. أصل وسلم يا إلهي مسرمدا على المصطفى المختار الصبي وحاليا. باسمك يا عالم حلم لنا علما. باسمك يا حلم يسر لنا فهما. باسمك يا عالم حلم لنا علما. باسمك يا علم يسر لنا فهما. باسمك يا عالم حلم لنا علما. باسمك يا حلم يسر لنا فما أقدر كدار لازم. اللهم صل على سيدنا بالفاتح والخاتم والسبب ناصر الأكل بالأكل حق بالأسراب المستقيم وعلى آله أقدر كدار لازم. آمين لله. Yes, I'm doing
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very good. I meet all the prayers, my last set of prayer. So yes, we begin the section proper. Once again, thank you. You all are welcome to the expert insight session. The first edition for the 2025 fellowship year. So thank you so much for joining us and joining promptly. So tonight we are going to be having a field day. I can see we all are set. Our facilitator too is also here. Yeah, so thank you so much. So today we'll be delving beyond the canvas, beyond the design canvas. We'll be exploring um the concept of brand and visual identity, the distinction, the overlap, and relevance for brand strategy. So in 2 minutes, I will have a member of the admin team give us the uh welcome us properly. So Mooks, are you on the call, please? If you are on the call, kindly give the welcome address. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for having me. Together.
If you are speaking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, please wait. I want to. Yeah, hello everyone, and you are welcome. Please confirm you can hear me, please.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Hello everyone, and you are welcome to the IOTB Tech Expert Insights session 1.0. Today, we are bringing on board a professional with a proven track record of expertise and rich years of experience. We are taking our knowledge of the design world a step further beyond the pixels and canvas to the big realm of visuals and brand identity. In today's session, we shall be exploring brand and visual identity, the overlap between them, the distinction among them, real-world use case. We will also be looking at a strategy role of brand identity in business and visual identity as a tool for brand expression. Now, this is where it gets more exciting. Whether you are a graphics designer or product designer, developers, or an IT development and operations, human resources, or project management, this session is meant for everyone, as you will be gaining some founder-centric information that will be relevant in your work as you collaborate across teams in the industries. If you are a designer especially, this is a must not miss, as you are getting just what you need to continue making big waves in your desired niche. You are a newbie or just thinking of transitioning into tech, you are welcome to the right place. Keep an open mind, take it on all in, and ask questions to guide your settings out of an eventful and fulfilling designing career journey. Now, let's dive in and make the most of the moment. Don't forget to enjoy the flow and actively contribute to the session as we progress. Take notes and ask questions. You will be getting all your answers just in the right amount and from the right person. You are all welcome once again, and let's get started. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yes, we are getting started. We are getting started. If you are with us, let me feel your pulse. Can we get some reactions? Can we get some reactions? If you are with us, let me know that you are with us. Thank you. I can see you, Tessie. Thank you so much. Okay, I think it's only me and Tessie that is on the call. It is too early for us to start. Okay, so I'll be moving straight on to the next item on my agenda, which is introduction of the speaker, our guest for today, and I'll be doing that myself. Yes. So once again, you all should meet my guest. Abdulmajid Suleiman. He is a brand and motion designer with wealth of experience. I mean, over 10 years of experience, where he has been creating compelling visuals. He specializes in brand identity design, motion graphics, and social media design. He has worked with a diverse range of clients across skincare, technology, fashion, and education sectors, where he delivers impactful designs tailored to their unique needs. He is the creative force and director behind FNS Wears, a fashion brand offering high quality clothing that aligns with global styles and is designed to be comfortable. You can actually check that out on Twitter, FNXOS. Additionally, it provides graphic and brand design training and has contributed to projects for notable brands such as Zenith Bank, Face, among others. He's passionate about using design to communicate ideas effectively, and his expertise spans logo design, brand identity, social media, and motion design. Our guest for today, Abdulmajid, has a background in computer science from the University of Ilorin, where he combines technical skills and creativity to delivering innovative design solutions. So please, if you are clapping, I think you can do better. I'm very sure our guest is right here with us on the call. So please, um, if you are clapping, you can still do better. Welcome my guest on stage, off stage, or I will not allow him to start the section. So if you are pumped for today's section, please let me have your reaction. You can use the chat box, you can use the reaction options if that's what you're comfortable with. So I'll be handing over the mic to um my guest, Abdulmajid. I think yes, he's with us on the call, so you can um take over the section now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Okay,
Thank you so
so
much, everyone,
excuse
for.
me, before you move on, we would love to we love that you use your camera. Yes, we love to see your face. Of course, if you are not comfortable doing that, it's not a problem, but we love to see your face. Thank you.
Okay, I actually did not plan that. So this is my face that we are seeing on the screen right at the moment. So I did not plan to turn on my camera. So I apologize for that.
All right, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me then.
Yeah, sure. Loud and clear.
All right, so my name is Abdulmajid Suleiman. So everything about me, or some of the things about me, Aisha has said most of the things about me. So I'll be guiding us on brand identity versus visual identity, the distinction, overlap, and relevance for brand strategy. I'll be sharing my screen now, so please let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, your
So
screen
can you
is
see my
up
screen?
now. Yes,
All
yes.
right. So like I said, we are going for brand identity versus visual identity. So, but first of all, I would like us to make this as interactive as possible. So the first question here is anyone probably using the chat section. When you hear brand identity, what comes to your mind when you hear the word brand identity? Anyone? Okay. I'm seeing logo design. what describes or what you can use to identify a brand, name of a business. Your logo, okay? The image projected to the brand audience, brand colors, business name. All right, thank you so much for the comments. So most of us are right and most of us are right. So I will be clarifying what we mean by brand identity to us now. So basically, brand identity is what the brand stands for, like its value, message, and how it wants to be seen. The short definition of brand identity is that it's a brand personality, right? So that is the meaning of brand identity. That is anything you can remember a brand to be. That is the meaning of brand identity. Example is this message that we are seeing on our screen now. Can anyone comment what you can remember from seeing this word? Just do it. Okay, thank you. Nike, 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 Nike. Thank you so much. So this is an example of brand identity. That is anything that you can remember a brand with. It doesn't mean their logo or anything. So anything you can attribute a brand with. So just do it now. For example, now we know that Nike, if Nike should be a person, it should be someone that pushes you to just do it. So that's a message by Nike. Then what about this? Everywhere you go, MTN. Thank you. MTN. So that is it. So this is part of brand identity. Anything you can remember a brand to be, that is brand identity. Moving forward, the visual identity, it means that how the brand shows up visually, that is like the outfit it wears. It includes the logo, colors, fonts, photos, and design style. These are under visual identity. So an example is this. Looking at this, most of us believe that, or most of us know that this is Nike's logo. So this is part of their visual identity. That is anything that you can see. That is what it means by visual identity. Then I have another question for us. Looking at this color now, what brand comes to your mind? MTN. Okay, MTN. That is it. So visual identity, you don't even need to see the logo. You don't need to see the brand name at all. It's anything that makes you remember the brand, either the color, the pattern, or anything visually that you can see without even seeing their name or their logo. So this is what we mean by visual identity. Then, of course, the black and yellow, that's for MTN. We are correct. We are correct. So, and the difference between the two, for brand identity, everything under brand identity, this is what we have: strategy, the brand name, verbal identity, that is the message, the tone, and the like. Visual identity is also under brand identity, brand personality, and what the brand believes. That is what we have under brand identity. Yeah, MTN also uses, oh, let me say they use what are we doing today. That is what they rebranded to. Thank you, Lawal Tesli. Then for visual identity, we have appearance, how the brand appears, the design, the logo, the colors, the typography, and the patterns. These are under, there are a lot of other stuff under this visual identity, and there are other stuff under visual brand identity as well. But these are the most common ones. So visual identity brings the brand identity to life. Of course, most of us will remember what we see more than probably the message or the sound. Everything that we see, we always believe that it speaks more than any other way of learning, right? Then why knowing the difference? It really matters because we need to know that a brand is not a logo. A brand is not a logo. So we need to have that in mind. Also, a logo is only a symbol. It's only a symbol. It means nothing if it doesn't have a clear brand identity behind it. So a logo is just your symbol for people to probably see on your packaging or on your delivery boxes and the like. So then for brand identity, it gives you direction and it helps you to know what to design, why it matters, and who you are designing for. If you are designing for a brand that their target audience are kids, you know the colors, the font you use, probably you use something playful and the like. And when you are designing for older people, you know the font size to use. You have to make sure that they are able to see the fonts you are using clearly. For example, now if I'm presenting to you now, and I know that most people that are on this call would be older people, I might not be using these fonts. Like it's too tiny and it's not contrasting enough, right? So that's what we need to know when it comes to design. It doesn't mean that you must be a brand designer before you learn all this. If you are a visual designer or even flyer designer, you can always have it in mind. Who am I designing for? Okay, this is the people that I'm designing for. This is the purpose. Okay, I must use this font. I must use this color, and I must use this size, right? So let's imagine that a client reach out to you and he or she needs a logo for his or her new brand, and they want the brand to be trustworthy. The brand should have is all about comfort and security. So you as a designer and you deliver this to them. You deliver this to them as a logo. So for example, now looking at this brand name, Nanny Nest, it's for a nanny, right? If I want to give my child to you, I can never come to you if I see this logo because it's scary, right? Even if your client should see this, probably this might be their response, something like, oh, it's nice, but it doesn't feel like us. Of course, it does not feel like them because the color, it's a red flag. The font used, the red flag. So it's giving danger. Thank you so much. That is it. So I am not safe with you. My child is not safe with you. So you can never give your child to that person. So all this is part of what we designer we need to um have knowledge of when we want to design for any client. That is when you know that there will be some client that will be like, it's not just to mix color together. It's not just to it's something like that I can put everything together and design it for purpose, being designing functional design, designing functional visuals. So we designer we merge that together when we are working for any clients. That is what makes all different from people that just open their phone, maybe their Canva or their Photoshop, Illustrator, and the like to design. So then the lesson we need to learn here is that a strong brand identity tells you who the brand is, then a good visual identity makes sure that the story is visible and consistent. Let me know if we are getting my point before I move on. I'm waiting for us in the comment section. Okay, I should write on. Thank you so much. So the overlap, visual identity must reflect your brand identity. Like an example I gave earlier about the nanny, your visual identity must make sure it reflects what the brand is all about. It's all about security, trust, and comfort. Then they must work hand in hand to tell a consistent brand story. And if there is a misalignment, it can confuse your audience, of course, because when I see this font or when I see this logo, I will not even attribute your brand to being trustworthy or secured for my children, right? So why this matters in brand strategy? Consistency is equal to trust. We know that when we, for example, when we go to your IG page, we are seeing clean designs or clean flyers on your IG page, clean pictures. And when you deliver your product to me, it's something different from what I'm seeing on your website or your IG page. You've lost the trust in me already. So this matters because consistency equals trust to human being. Then clarity equals connection. So clarity in the sense that if I understand what you are doing, if your message, your messaging, your tone, your design, if it's clear enough, I can connect with your brand. But if not, I will just scroll past your content and the like. Then creativity is equals to differentiation. That is what you are doing different. Anything that you are doing different, either in terms of design, in terms of copies, in terms of how you put out other visual content or other messaging and the like. So, and a good strategy is go to aligned brand plus visual identity. Then it also matters. Okay, another example is Apple now. We know that Apple brand identity, that is their personality, is simplicity and innovation. And their visual identity, we always know them to have minimalist design and clean interfaces, even their phone and the like. Everything looks and feel like Apple. We all know that when we buy Apple, let's say iPhone 12 or iPhone 6, and if you are getting anything other than that, you are sure that you are getting the same consistent. That is, you are getting the same smooth interaction, the same clean interfaces, and probably the same sound. So the only thing that you might see different from Apple is the quality of the camera and the other system apps and the like. So, and this matters for designers because it makes you to design with strategy, not just how. You are not just following trends. You are making sure that you are designing what works for the brand that you are designing for. Then it opens career paths in brand strategy. You can be a brand strategist, you can be a brand identity designer, you can be a motion designer, creative director, UI UX designer, and content designer. So, and of course, clients now, they need designers who think beyond looks because they know that anyone can just put out something together and call it design. But if you are designing for a purpose, you are designing what feel like their brand, they will always come to you. They can give you millions of naira just to design something that some people are charging peanuts for, or some clients are paying peanuts for, right? So my final takeaway, the final takeaway that you should take from this is that you need to understand the brand first before you design their visuals, and you need to design for alignment, not just aesthetics. And you need to grow into strategic roles by learning the why behind the what. Thank you so much. So the last question I have here is, what's one thing you will do differently in your next design project after this session? This is my question. Let me hear what we have in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone.
Exceptional, are you there?
Yeah, sure. I'm with you. The section is now has not ended yet.
Okay, think before you design. I'll be consistent, nice, use consistent fonts, colors, and pay attention to alignment. Know the reason and who you are designing for. I'll design with purpose and ensure consistency. Take into consideration the end users of the design and aid the design journey. I'll make more research before even starting any project. That makes sense. Yeah, research. Pay attention to client brand. Identify purpose in my design. So I'm coming back to questions. So we are getting, okay, this question session will be by in 2 minutes. Let's say it's 58. Know what I want to design and make research before designing. Understand how the design communicates the brand messages and core values before designing. The why before the what. Make research and know my target audience first to know the fonts correct. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. So we can start dropping our questions if you have any question. So I'll start from Century, but let me ask permission from my bosses if we can start answering questions or taking questions.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abdulmajid. Yeah, we can start taking questions. I need to first appreciate you for giving us such a powerful message uh within like that limited time. It was short yet succinct, and of course, I'm very sure that everyone got the message because he understood the message apparently. And I'm very yes, so I'm very sure everyone got the message and they already internalized it. Yeah, so we'll be moving straight on to the questions and answer section. Now, please, I want to beg us, please. Now is the time to ask questions. See, beyond the visual identity, the brand identity, you can ask questions beyond the scope of the session. Of course, within the scope of the session too, rest assured that you are in safe hands. You have the best man to give responses to your questions. And this is the drill. If you have a question, you show a raise of hand, and you'll be allowed to speak by any of the presenters on call. I hope you get that. So if you have questions now, let's see your hands up. Just show a raise of hand, then we take you guys one after the other. So that's it. Thank you so much. So we can proceed to the question and answer section now. Then to the this is an unverified, so I don't know your name. So you should please introduce yourself before you ask your question. Thank you. So you can speak now. You can speak now, then to you.
I think
Hello.
let's use the chat box. The chat box instead.
All right, then that's perfect. So please, you can drop your questions in the chat box. Ensure that your questions is clear enough so that we don't have to be going back and forth. So Zetsugi, you don't need to use your mic. You can drop your questions in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay, I have two questions already. How can I know the best type of logo to create for a brand? The second one, the colors have meaning. Okay, so basically, for the first question, how can I know the best type of logo to create for a brand? We have different types of logo. We have the word marks, we have letter marks, we have pictorial marks, we have abstract marks, and we have combination marks and emblem marks, emblem logos rather than mascot logo. So those are the 7 types of logo that we have. But you need to know what the brand is all about before you start designing, or the brand name that you want to work on and the likes. So starting from the word marks now, word marks, you need to use word marks when you, okay, I'm sure that some of us don't know what word marks logo are. Word mark logos are the types of logo that contain the company's name in a stylized font. Basically, that's the summary of what word marks is. So example is Google, Coca-Cola. Then you use word mark logo. They are best for companies with distinctive name. And when your brand name is not too long, Coca-Cola and Google now, that's two type of logo that uses word mark, but they have short name. So it's easy for you to pronounce, it's easy for their audience to remember, and it can be used for word marks. It doesn't matter what the brand is all about. As far as the name is short, it's something unique. You can use word mark for that brand. So word mark basically is just for you to design their brand name in a unique way so that it will not be like you are just typing and slapping it on the background and sending to them. You do something unique, probably changing the color from one to another and the like, so that it can be identified with their brand. Then the second one, we have lettermark. Lettermark can also be called monogram. So there are logos that use the initials or let's say acronyms of a company. An example is HP. If I should ask most of us, can we easily remember the full meaning of HP? Nice, nice. I can't pronounce it easily, so I'll just stick with HP. It's 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 weird because most people would not be able to pronounce it easily. So that's the idea of using lettermark. You use lettermark when you know that your brand name, it cannot be easily pronounced, but you can merge you can use the initials or acronyms of your company. So HP, NASA. If you can remember the full meaning of NASA, like now, you are the boss. So NASA, so their full meaning, I can't remember as well, but I know it's aero something blah blah blah. So, but most of us will remember NASA because that's what they want their audience to remember them with. So you use lettermark basically when you know that your brand name is long, but you want people to pronounce it easily. An example is that my brand, FNS, is a long name. So we shorten it to FNS to make people pronounce it easily. The full meaning is fit and style. So that is the idea of using or knowing what you are designing for before you start designing. You have to make sure that if you are using lettermark, you know that okay, you want people to pronounce
name, yeah, national. That's it. That's the full meaning of NASA. Thank you. So you have to make sure that you are using the logo that works for your brand, basically. So lettermark works for when your name is too long and you want to shorten it to for easy pronunciation and for people to remember it and recognize it easily. Then the third one, we have pictorial marks. So if you want to use pictorial marks are just logos that uses graphic symbol or icon to represent the brand. So you can use pictorial mark when your brand name itself can convey your icon. For example, now can convey your brand rather. Example, Apple. We know that even if you don't know the brand behind that icon, when you see that icon, most people will call it Apple. So that is example of using pictorial mark. When your brand name alone is enough to convey the brand, that is when you use pictorial mark. Then another example is Twitter. So we know that Twitter with that bird. So that is another example of using pictorial mark. Then the fourth type of logo is abstract mark. You use abstract marks. Abstract marks are logo that you use an abstract form or shape to represent the brand. So they are ideal for creating unique or memorable visual identity. You use abstract mark when you want to merge different things together, different attributes of that brand together to form a logo. Let's say speed and calm or speed and something. So you find an icon to represent speed and merge it with another attribute of that brand to create their icon. So that is when you use abstract. Pepsi, Adidas, and the likes. So if you check their logo rationale, you understand the idea behind their brand logo. So most time we might even see some logo that will feel like, why are they using just dots as a logo, or why are they using just line as a logo? Until you check the rationale and you believe in what the rationale is actually talking about. So abstract mark doesn't mean that you just need to merge different things that complicate the brand logo. You have to make sure that it's simple, but it communicates something. You don't just design without having the reason. If they ask you, why did you use dots as my logo, you should be able to present it. That is the idea behind that. Then for the fifth type of logo that we have combination marks. So combination marks is just like merging the icon with the logo type. Logo type is the brand name. You can pick any type of logo as the icon, then merge it with the logo type, which is the brand name. Then that is your combination mark. So there is nothing different or unique about that. An example is Target logo. Another one is Dropbox, Spotify. We always know that we always see Spotify with their logo type, which is their brand name, with the icon most times together, except in some rare cases. Another example is PayPal. Another example is MasterCard. MasterCard started with their icon with their brand name, but when they noticed that people already know them, they stopped adding the logo type, so they continue using that to circle. If you check the rationale, you will understand the idea behind the brand logo. So if you make that type of logo for some Nigerian client, they will be like, why are you using just two circle for my brand? Blah 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 like that. So, but when you have rationale and they read and understand your rationale, they will be like, wow, they will align with anything you are presenting to them. They will trust you and always work with you. Then the next type of logo that we have emblem logo. Mostly emblem logos, you use emblem logo when you want to design for let's say university or something that's associated with tradition or authority, maybe cars. Example is BMW, University of Ilorin logo, Starbucks, and so on like that. So you use that for brand that wants to be associated with tradition and authority, right? Then the last type of logo that we have is mascot logo. You use mascot logo. Before I continue, mascot logo is an illustrated character that represents your brand or represents your business. It can even be used to represent yourself, your personal identity. You can just use something like a mascot to represent you. Maybe illustrate yourself or something that people can just attribute to you. Whenever they see it, they know that, okay, this is this guy. That's his mascot logo. It's just an illustrated character. And you can think of mascot logo as spokesperson or your brand ambassador. Example is Android. Another brand is KFC, Pringles, and so on like that. So you know that they have this character with their name, and that is how they want people to that is what they want to be attributed with their brand. So you use mascots when you want to use anything, any illustration to represent your brand. So that is just like a new lesson that I want us to pick from that question. So that is it. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I was not presenting. I was answering question. The Century are you still on the call? Does that answer your question? All right. So the second question we have, where is the second question? Where is the second question? Okay. How do we know the right and best font to okay? I think that this is the third one. Do colors have meaning? Yes, of course, color does have meaning. So, for example, now we know that red, it can be attributed to, let's say, urgency, danger, and the likes, right? So color does do have meaning. So you can just check more about them. There are a lot of color that has meaning. For example, now blue, it's for trust. Example is you will notice that most tech startup, they uses they use blue. So that is just to communicate we are trustworthy and like. Then the next question. Okay, how do we know the right and best font to use for a text? How do we know the right and best? Okay, so like I said, it depends on the personality of the brand you are designing for. If you are designing for a calm or clean, something like you use something like sans serif, but if you want to design for let's say something like tradition, something that's the brand I want to be associated with tradition, you use serif fonts. So when you want to download fonts, they usually add description to the fonts. When you read them, even if you are yet to understand what typography means, so you can just read that, and that can give you an hint of, okay, is this font right for this brand? An example is, if you are designing for a brand that targets kids now, you are using something like comic, something fun, and the like. So you just search online and get fonts that communicate font. Fonts that communicate font. Yeah. So you can just type on Google fonts that communicate font, and you'll see a lot of that just to get started. So we have script fonts as well. So we have display fonts and all those ones are used for headlines and like. Then yeah, that's about that. And of course, sans serif, it can also communicate pro professionalism and luxury. And if you remember, you know that most brand, like let's say Rolex, they use a serif font. So they are in serif font is for luxury. So for Rolex now, you know they uses they use serif font a lot. So that is what communicate their brand as being a luxury brand. Does that answer your question? I can't remember the person that asked that question again. Okay, I can see another question here. How best can you make creative branding decision as a founder who has very limited knowledge of design or branding, owing to the fact that the founder will provide a brief and also striving to stay unique from the competitors? Okay, so basically, as a founder, if you don't have this knowledge, you only need to, if you want to provide a brief, you don't need to give your designer direction. If you hire the best designer that's know what to do, so you just need to send what your brand is all about. Okay, I want this brand to communicate trust. I want this brand to do this on the line. So that makes the designer get clarity of what you want your brand to communicate, what you want people to attribute your brand with. So you don't need to do too much of the design thinking part. Just create your brand personality and all of that things that you have access to your designer, and he or she would work on something that communicate that if it's operational. So does that answer your question, ma'am or sir? Is it solely the role of the founder and designer to define? No, actually. So the role of a founder is to know that this is my brand, this is my personality. It's like yourself. You know what you believe in. You know, for example, now, if you believe in, I don't like going out with short sleeve. I just want to continue wearing long sleeve. People will attribute that to you, or the guy that wear long sleeve, even if they don't know your name. So the role of a founder is to know what his brand or startup is all about. A designer can only help you to get your message right, your visual identity right, and your tone right when you want to present it to your audience. If you don't have the knowledge of that, does that answer your question, Zainab? Okay, Century, you said another question. Okay, Ali, I am sorry, I can't recap the lecture I delivered, but I can share I don't know if this is recorded, but I can share
Yeah,
the
it
slides.
is being recorded.
Okay, right. So you can check out probably the YouTube or wherever it will be posted. So, all right. So Can you explain how a good brand identity contributes to money for the company? What is the financial danger a brand identity will do? Thank you so much for that question, Lawal. So, for example, now, let me use, let's say a biscuit brand. You go to a store, you see 3 different types of um, biscuits with their packaging. Of course, 2 brand uses like clean design, and you can see that this is a good design. But the other one, you yourself, you know that this design is not a design. So it's not looking good to you. Even if people tell you that like this biscuit is the best, you will not want to trust that brand. So you will not buy anything from that brand. So all the money invested in the packaging, the delivery to the store and everything, that's wasted. So probably the biscuits would expire in that store because people will not buy what they don't trust. And they won't trust you if what you are presenting to them is not looking appealing to them in terms of, let's use design as an example, or the font that you use. Another example, I made another example earlier about Nani. You know, you let's assume the logo I showed earlier. Can I still share my screen? I think I'm still on. Can you see my screen? Or who is presenting? That's Nani's logo. So if you invest money to a designer and he or she delivers that logo for you, and you just continue using that logo, no one would come to you for any service because that font and color alone does not make your brand trustworthy. So you've lost the money you invested. All the marketing that you'll be doing afterwards will be wasted as well. So that is the answer to that. Does that answer your question?
Very well. Thank
Thank
you so much.
you. All right. This will be expressing resources. Okay. How can brand identity evolve without losing brand identity? Especially in terms of cultural, how can brand identity evolve without losing brand equity? I don't understand your question. Can you simplify it?
Okay, I think this questioner can just type the question or show a raise of hand, and maybe he or she will be allowed to speak. So that you can better ask the question so I can get it. But for now, I will suggest that you just move on to the next
But if
question.
I would speak for the person, right? I think what the person is asking is how will for example, if a brand is changing their like they are evolving or probably making changes to their brand identity. So how are they going to be sure that their brand change is not going to be giving them losses? Okay. First, yeah, so that you're right, like they
Okay.
are not going to be having misconception in their branding moving forward.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, basically, no matter how good your brand identity or visual identity is at the moment, people or there will be a time that you will need to update something in your brand identity in terms of visuals, the message, and the like. But when you already built other part of your brand identity, we are not talking about just logo, the message, or everything that contributes to your brand identity are the message, the visuals, your logo, the color, your personality, and the likes. So if you need to update that because the world is changing, you just have to make sure that one, you change to something that people will believe that okay, this is actually updated, not that you are um downgrading your brand and you are calling it rebranding. You have to make sure that what you are updating is something that people believe that okay, this is it. And you need to communicate to your audience that we've rebranded because of this. We changed this because of this. There are a lot of big brands that's updated or rebranded and they still have their loyal clients or customers. An example is Google. They just updated their logo to something like Radiant and the like. Another example is Twitter. People are still using Twitter, despite the fact that it has been changed to X. They changed the logo, the color, even the brand name, and people still believe in it. That is because they are still delivering the same value. They still have the same personality, not that they change everything entirely. Does that answer your question? Right. Do we have any other question? I think that's all right. If you use it to say branding because yes, not really. Branding is your personality. Value is also part of your personality, your value, what you believe in, and the like. Can a good brand identity make up for a Can a good visual identity make up for a poor brand identity? More importantly, what makes a brand identity poor? Okay, the first question might answer your second question. So, I made an example earlier that, for brand identity, we have visual identity, we have the experience your clients get from your brand, we have your message and the like, right? If you have a good visual identity, and let's say I'm a fashion brand, I have a very good, beautiful logo, beautiful flyers and the like. And when I deliver my product, people don't like it at all. So that is adding to like that's a poor brand identity already because people are attributing um inferiority with your brand because you deliver something poor. No matter how, even if you have the best brand in the world, if your service or your message is communicating something different, that's a poor brand identity. So visual identity cannot make up for it. So, and what makes a brand identity poor is when your when all the blocks that needs to build up to make your brand identity, when all of them they are not consistent. For example, like when you communicate, you are secure, you are trustworthy, and you are using a let's say your visual identity is very bad, or your other part of your brand identity they are very bad. So it's not giving you a good brand identity to your audience. It's making your brand identity poor. For example, for personal identity now, someone that everyone can see that this woman is actually very good. She dresses nice and like, but when she talks or she abuses or she does something that you can't even align with what you are seeing or the picture you are seeing or the way you people see people when you see someone, you always have this mentality, oh, this person must be doing this person must have this person must talk like this and the like. But when they are doing the opposite of it, that is making a that identity, making it poor already. I don't know if that answers your question. Now what? Does that answer your question?
It's yes, thank you so much. I think it was actually Zainab's question. So
It was what?
it was Zainab's question. So I believe that you have done justice to that.
Okay. What question do we have again? How do you measure the effectiveness of a brand identity beyond recognition? Can identity be accountable for ROI? Yes. So how you can measure the effectiveness of your brand identity is apart from the recognition, you can um measure it by, let's say, your customer trust, loyalty, and what they prefer. And the metrics you can use maybe conversion rates, how people are buying your products and the like, and also customer engagement as well. So yeah, does that answer your question? All right. So I think I'll stop taking questions now. It's 9:30. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And I don't know if you can still see my screen. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, I'm projecting now. You stopped sharing, so I am the one projecting.
Okay,
But it's
okay,
still your
okay,
slide.
okay. You can go to the last slide.
All right. I'll do that now. Yeah, Tessie,
So
can you see my screen rather? Sorry.
yes.
All right, thank you.
So you can connect with me via WhatsApp, LinkedIn, X, and Instagram. So someone asked for resources earlier. I have a link to a Notion board that Chisa created. So I'll be sharing that shortly. So it's about how to brand design the roadmap. So it's not just for brand identity designer alone. It can be for content designers as well. So you just get to learn about what brand identity is and how you can incorporate brand strategy to what you are doing. I don't know. I can't comment. Chat is only available during the meeting.
Look, I sorry, I missed your last statement.
I said like I can't comment. I want to send a link to your resources. The title of the resources is how to brand design the roadmap. It comprises of
Oh, you
anything.
mean you can't use the chat box, but you can send you
Yes.
to me on WhatsApp and I'll paste it. Although you should be able to use the chat box. Everybody can. I don't
Let me
know
just share
why.
it with you. I don't know
All
why.
right.
So there are books, there documentaries, podcasts, and likes that you can learn from. You get to learn the difference between branding, brand design elements, brand strategy, and the likes. So you also learn how to show your work because we know that no matter how good you are, if you don't show your work or if people don't know you, you are as good as nothing. Even if you think your design is not good enough, put it out there. Let people comment. You learn from people's comments. So I can only use. Yeah, you learn from people's feedback, comments, and the likes. So that is part of gaining experience. That's when you want to apply for a job, they'll be asking for so experience, blah blah and the like. they ask for that so that they know that you've tackled some project in the past, you've solved some projects in the past or some problems in the past. So that experience alone should be able to help you to contribute to their brand. That's why they ask that. So if you don't have that experience from a client, they can simply just continue posting your work on X, your even your WhatsApp, your LinkedIn and the like. So that will make you a better designer. That will make you a better decision maker because we human being we see things differently. If you are seeing A here, another person might be seeing V and the likes. But when you put it out, when you ask for others' opinions, you get to see the oh, I need to do this thing better. This is actually what I need to do and the like. So yeah, that is it. Yeah, thank you so much, Aisha. So she shared the link to that resources already. So just check it out and yeah, you will really enjoy it. By the way, it was curated by Chisa on Twitter. So I have the link for a while now. So that's why I shared it here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Wadi. It is actually a wonderful one with you this evening. I must say it's really mind blowing. Thank you so much once again. Yeah, what a section. I really learned a lot myself. Me that I'm not even a designer self. I can tell you one or two, and I can definitely contribute better in while collaborating in a team of designers. So yeah, that's the goal. And I'm very sure there are many other people like me too on this call this evening who have gained one or two from this section. So on behalf of every one of us, on behalf of every one of us on this call, I'm saying a very big thank you to um you for a night well spent, a wonderful section, wonderful presentation from your end. Thank you so much. Um of course, I know those people that are interested in connecting. Yeah, my screen is still up, so you can quickly do what you can um connect like oh sorry. You can connect with him. Yes, my screen is still up on LinkedIn, Twitter, on Instagram, even on WhatsApp. You, my guest is so generous. He's open to connections. So I really look forward to us doing better exploit together soonest. And yes, I hope that we will definitely be seeing you around on some other occasion. So yeah, we've actually come to the end of our session. Once again, thank you so much, Abdulmajid, for that from you. We are very grateful, and yes, we are value filled. So everybody that joined this session tonight, I say very big thank you to you because you've actually made it worthwhile. I mean, if you did not join, if you did not engage, so what exactly are we doing? So you know, I'm shouting out to you all are distinguished, and I really do hope that you learn plenty things, not even one or two this time around. Yes, I'm very sure of that. So I really look forward to seeing you around in subsequent sessions. Yes, information about our webinar series will be rolled out as time like when the time for the next session is near. You definitely receive updates from us. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and on Twitter too. IOTB Tech Fellowship on LinkedIn, at IOTB Tech on Twitter, so that you will be updated about our sessions, our events. Yeah. So thank you so much once again, everyone. And yes, our session has ended for tonight. And I look forward to seeing you all around in subsequent ones. Bye.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you too. Thank you too. Have a wonderful evening, you all.